home from the gallery with a couple of pieces of cheesecake. I've had cheesecake each day. So it's like, I loved it, you know, it was just good cheesecake. But I found that if you take some strawberries and you make a little sugar on the strawberries, and then you put that on top of the cheesecake.
Oh no! See,
cheesecake. You should try that. Fabulous.
I was just going to say,
fabulous.
Cheesecake is like barbecue.
Did you?
It doesn't need
You did
sauce.
that? Okay. See.
I loved both of them. I thought the first one was a little lighter. The second one I found was a little heavier, but the taste on both of them were great. And I like cheesecake. It's not my go-to. Mainly because it doesn't have chocolate on it, because I'm a chocoholic, but I would eat your cheesecake daily because it was so good.
Thank you.
I agreed with all the comments that Dave made. There was something richer and denser about the second one, but that's not to say I didn't like the first, and I did feel like the first was a little less sweet, a little airier. For me personally, that's okay because sometimes I feel like everything is too sweet when you buy it. But the second one was dense and delicious, and somebody who really loves New York cheesecake would like the second one.
I love them both. I think you're going to be tremendously successful, and I hope you remember us when we want free cheesecake. Right? Am I wrong? We got to throw that in now.
Absolutely.
We're going to be negotiating hotel rooms. Here's a cheesecake for my hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton. They're hard to get.
I think they're both phenomenal cheesecakes. I think the number 2 will appeal more to the masses. I think number 1 is going to be more an enthusiast cheesecake. The topping is much richer. The center has a little bit more chunky texture than most people are used to, more cheese flavor, less cream. So you get a little bit more of that rich flavor, but not as sweet. The crust, I think, was really what set number 1 apart. I really do. To get a crust that doesn't get soft and yet browns up like that and gets great contrasting color and doesn't burn. Plus, it had a little something in it. I don't know what it is, but it was really, it set that crust off. I'm still thinking about that crust, trying to figure out what you put in that to give it that little extra flavor, because it really meant that much. So,
like
you
a
know,
brown
it's
sugar
or molasses or something. But that crust really made that cheesecake and made it stand up with, you know, a Hank's or any other gourmet cheesecake you'll ever find. So, I mean, that was probably the best crust I've ever tasted.
That'll be his dying wish. What was in the crust? Area 51, what was in the crust?
I don't want to follow that. Do you do this for a living?
I have to seriously clients all day, so I have to figure out how to get wordy and make little bit of information sound phenomenal.
You did a good job there. But both of them were great. I think number 1 you can eat with a little less guilt. So that actually meant I like number 2
It's cheesecake,
better.
dude. You feel guilty.
Yeah, anyway, right? But I'll prefer number 2. It was real creamy and it almost tastes like whipped cream on the top. So both of them were great though. Good job.
Thank you.
I would choose number 1 because of the crust as well, and the fact that it all came together just really well for me. It was simple, but it had like a deep flavor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, number 2 was great. Very much typical Italian cheesecake, like DeMari's up the hill. So nicely done.
I like number 2 better, but I like them both. And I would say, if you ever do an event where you have a lot of it, I would put different choices of fruit, either strawberries or blackberries or something else to where they can have. I like having it by itself, but I also like a little bit. Maybe you can have a bit and piece of fruit with that.
I liked them both a lot. I probably liked the crust better on the first one, but the texture of the second one, that would be my perfect cheesecake.
I like them both a lot too. I am married to a New Yorker, so I do make the New York cheesecake, and it does taste like the second one, the one I make. And I think that's why I like the first one better, because it was light, it was different.
Round robin again. Keep going. Now you get to talk first.